जय राधा माधव कुञ्ज बिहारी। गोपीजनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपीजनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना। यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना। यमुनातिरवनचारी। यमुनातिरवनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुञ्ज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुञ्ज बिहारी। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. Reading from 11th canto, chapter 8, chapter entitled The Story of Pingla. Pingla has not come till now. She will come after a few verses and some other things. Text number 16. सुदुःखो पारिजातैर्वित्तैर् आशासानां गृहाशिषा मधुहेवाग्रतो भुङ्क्ते यतिर्वै गृहमेधिनाम्। सुदुःखो पारिजातैर्वित्तैर् आशासानां गृहाशिषा मधुहेवाग्रतो भुङ्क्ते यतिर्वै गृहमेधिनाम्। सुदुःखो पारिजातैर्वृत्तैर् आशासानां गृहाशिषः मधुहेवाग्रतो भुङ्क्ते यतिर्वै गृहमेधिनाम्। आशासानां गृहाशिषः मधुहेवाग्रतो भुङ्क्ते मधुहेवाग्रतो भुङ्क्ते What for what meaning? Sukh, Sudukha with great struggle. O Parijatai, that which is acquired. Vittaihi, material opulence. Ashasanam, of those fervently desiring. Griha, related to domestic enjoyment. Ashishaha, blessings. Madhuha, the person who steals honey from the bees. Eva, like. Agrataha, first, before others. Bhunkte, enjoys. Yatihi, a saintly mendicant. Vai, certainly. Grihamedhinam, of those dedicated to material family life. Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: just as a hunter takes away the honey laboriously produced by the honey bees, similarly saintly mendicants such as the brahmacharis and sannyasis are entitled to enjoy the property painstakingly accumulated by householders dedicated to family enjoyment. Purport: the scriptures state saintly mendicants in the sannyas order of life and brahmacharis have first right to enjoy the sumptuous foodstuffs produced by the householders. If the householders enjoy such foodstuffs without first offering them in charity to the mendicants, such neglectful householders must undergo the lunar fast called Chandrayanam. In family life, one must overcome the natural tendency towards selfishness by giving abundant charity. Modern society foolishly does not observe such Vedic injunctions. As a result, the world has become overrun by envious grihamedhis, or persons wholly and solely dedicated to personal gratification in family life. Therefore, the whole world is seized in an uncontrollable spasm of violence and suffering. If one wants to live peacefully, one must follow the Vedic injunctions regulating family life. Although the householders work very hard to accumulate money, the saintly sannyasis and brahmacharis have the right to first enjoy the fruits of such labor. The conclusion is that one should give first priority to spiritual advancement in Krishna consciousness and thus perfect one's life. Then, even without personal endeavor, one will be supplied all of one's necessities by the mercy of the personality of Godhead. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Utapatakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanepyo Vaishnavepyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. So in today's verse it is mentioned that just as a hunter takes away the honey laboriously produced by the honeybees, saintly mendicants such as brahmacharis and sannyasis are entitled to enjoy the property painstakingly accumulated by householders dedicated to family enjoyment. That does not mean that brahmacharis and sannyasis are entitled to eat sumptuously and take away the property what is meant for householders. But this particular verse gives injunctions which are meant for the householders and not for the renunciates. So renunciants need not follow it, but the householder should follow it. Instructions for the renunciants are given in a few verses before, where it is mentioned, like text 12 mentions, a saintly mendicant should not even collect foodstuffs to eat later in the same day or the next day. If he disregards this injunction and like the honeybee collects more and more, that which he has collected will indeed ruin him. So this is what is mentioned here. So at one place it is mentioned that we should not eat more, and second place it is mentioned that everything is entitled for the renunciants. So we need to understand that different injunctions are meant for different people. In Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 21st chapter, text number 24, Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, it is a Vedic system, therefore, for a householder to call Brahmanas and Vaishnavas to eat at ceremonial performances in his house, because the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas can immunize him from sinful activities. So it is the duty of the householder. But then he says, but it is not the duty of rigid Brahmanas and Vaishnavas to accept invitations everywhere. Like that he says. But then he says, there is of course no objection in taking part in feasts in which prasad is distributed. Like that Srila Prabhupada says. So scriptures, they urge to give charity because generally we want to live a life of taking. Like it is said, God gives, gives and gives, but man gets, gets and forgets. And we have lived a life, I have lived a life of taking. So when someone says to give something, then it gives pain to the heart. So one time there was a person who was drowning in the water, and there was another person who was wanting to save him, and he said to him that give your hand to me, give your hand to me, and he wasn't giving his hand. And then that person was understanding, he is drowning but he is not giving his hand. And then this man who was helping him, he said, take my hand, take my hand. Immediately he took the hand. So because the habit is there of taking, when something is to be taken, then we take very easily. But something has to be given, then it takes a lot of time. So Krishna in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, when he is going with his friends, so Krishna is telling to Balaram, see these trees, how beautiful, how dedicated, how selfless are these trees. They are giving everything. They are giving their shade, they are giving their fruits, they are giving their entire existence for the humanity. And there he quotes that verse, Etavat janma safalyam dehinam iha dehishu pranir arthair dhiya vacha shreya acharanam sada. He says they have perfected their lives because they are giving their everything. And similarly, if a human being wants to perfect his life, he should give 4 things. And what are these 4 things? Pranair arthair dhiya vacha. First, he should be ready to give his life. If someone is not ready to give his life, then at least give artha. Because artha is not different than life. Money is sweeter than honey, as they say. If money goes away, one feels a lot of pain in the heart. So give your artha. If you are not able to give your money also, diya, give your body in Krishna's service. If you are not able to give even that, words, vacha, at least praise the devotees, at least tell to others that they are doing good work, they are doing missionary work. So at least praise them by words. So in this way, scriptures urge us at different levels to give charity. Like there is another verse also which says, Kayena vacha manasendriyerva buddhyatmana va nashata svabhavat karomi yadyat sakalam parasmai narayanayeti samarpayami. It says, Kayena vacha manasendriyerva, by mind, body and words, we should give charity. So this verse especially, which is meant for householders. So when a householder is giving charity, the charity can be done at different levels, and the householders also can be at different levels. The topmost level of householder is one who has given everything for Krishna and is totally dependent on Krishna. When Mahaprabhu would have his kirtans at Srivas Thakur's house, Mahaprabhu asked Srivas, what are you doing for your family maintenance? I see you are day and night engaged in kirtan only. What are you doing for maintaining your family? And then Srivas clapped. 3 times he clapped. Mahaprabhu said, what is this? And Srivas said, if even after clapping 3 times, if I don't get anything, I will take a stone and drown myself in the Ganges. When Mahaprabhu heard this, he said, Srivas, there may even come a time when the goddess of fortune will beg from others, but you will never go without money. You will always have abundance of everything at your home. Because he was giving everything to Krishna. Shraddha sabjay vishwas ko hai sudruda nishchay Krishna bhakti kaile sarva karma krita hai. Prabhupada writes in one purport, I guess that is 2.2.5 purport. So Prabhupada writes a very beautiful statement in that. Just a minute, I'll open that. He says, when a man becomes a mendicant, willfully or by circumstances, he must be of firm faith and conviction that the Supreme Lord is the maintainer of all living beings everywhere in the universe. Why then would he neglect the maintenance of a surrendered soul who is 100% engaged in the service of the Lord? A common master looks to the needs of his servant. So how much more would the all-powerful, all-opulent Supreme Lord look after the necessities of life for a fully surrendered soul? So even in family life, if somebody is fully surrendered, Krishna will provide. Bali Maharaj, he gave everything. Atmanivedan, we give the example of Bali Maharaj for Atmanivedan. And Shukracharya is forbidding him, hey, don't give, he will take away everything from you. And Bali Maharaj says that wealth is separated from us at the time of death. So why not please a Brahmana with that wealth? The chance to give charity to a Brahmana is very rare. Becoming poverty stricken by such charity is very auspicious. Bali Maharaj said that. And today is the second disappearance day of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. Maharaj also gave everything to Krishna. Even when he was in family life, he would give his entire paycheck to Srila Prabhupada. And then ask Prabhupada, I need this much for my... His wife would ask, I need this much for our family maintenance. And then he would be given that in return. So this is the first level where one gives everything for Krishna. Second level is giving even when we have nothing. Don't have anything, still we are wanting to give to Krishna. One time Bill Gates was traveling through an airport and he wanted to purchase a newspaper. So he got that newspaper, he looked through his pockets, there was no money. That time he was not very famous, he was not that wealthy. And after searching, he had no money, he said to the vendor, I don't have any money to give you. And the newspaper vendor said, don't worry, just take it from my side. And Bill Gates said, next time when I come, I'll give you. He said, okay, no problem, no worries. Next time after a few years, again Bill Gates was going through the same airport, he met the same newspaper vendor and he reminded him, you had given me a newspaper. Then he purchased another newspaper, again he searched for his pockets and there was no money. And again the newspaper vendor said, please take, no problem. I said, no, 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 when I become wealthy, I will surely give you. After a few years, he became Bill Gates. Then he was traveling through the same airport and he met the newspaper vendor. And he said, now I have become Bill Gates, now I have money, please take this. And the newspaper vendor said, actually I don't need this money. I am wealthier than you. And Bill Gates could not understand. He was the richest person in the world that time. And this newspaper vendor is selling that I am richer than you, I am more wealthier. And the newspaper vendor said, I gave to you what I had when I had nothing. And you are giving to me when you have everything. Therefore, I am richer than you. I am wealthier than you. So, this is another stage. Even when we don't have anything, still we are wanting to give whatever little is there. Even Sridhar Kolavecha, he was ready to give whatever. Half of the money he would earn, he would give for the worship of Lord, of Mother Ganges. Mahaprabhu every day for 2-3 hours he would come to Sridhar Kolavecha and he would argue with him and then finally take for free. But Sridhar Kolavecha did not demand, or he did not get he would obviously joke and get a bit superficially angry with Mahaprabhu, but that was their pastime. Another level is when we give with an open heart. We have a lot, but we want to give a lot also. When Prabhupada was building the temple at Juhu, Radha Ras Bihari Mandir, His Holiness Giriraj Maharaj was present there. And there was this one person whose name was Mr. Sethi, and he would help the devotees a lot. And he himself volunteered to build a house for devotees for staying there, because devotees did not have proper living conditions. And when Sethi was giving all his time, all his energy, his money, everything for service of devotees, one time when Prabhupada came there, Prabhupada said to him, you are building a house for devotees, Krishna is building a house for you in Vaikuntha, please know that. And Mr. Sethi was so overwhelmed, he had tears in his eyes. So he was having such a beautiful heart, he was wanting to give whatever he wanted, whatever he had for devotee service. Another level is when we are giving, then we feel a pinch. Hey, something got lost from me. So it is said that charity should be done in such a way that it hurts. Then it is called as charity. Otherwise, it is not called as charity. One time, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj, he was with a. So Gopal Krishna Maharaj was known for fundraising as well. So he was meeting a particular businessman, and his businessman gave him a huge suitcase. He opened the suitcase, there was a lot of cash and that lot of wealth in that. And Gopal Krishna Maharaj said to him, thank you for the first installment. And that person, he was like, overwhelmed, what is Maharaj saying? Next also. There was another person who asked Maharaj, can I serve you in some particular way? Maharaj knew he had cultivated him, he was a big businessman. He straight away called Mayapur and he asked them, what all facilities do you need? What all things do you need? And they told about some medical equipments which were costing in crores in rupees. And he told, okay, what else do you need? And 2-3 things he told, and he told to that person, and he got everything from that person. One time, this devotee, whose name is Mohan Rupa Prabhu, he's there in Delhi, and he was cultivating a person, and he was not sure whether this person is really going to donate something or not. So he took him to Maharaj, and he said to Maharaj, I just want to know, should I give my time to this person, because I'm giving a lot, he's a big person. And Maharaj spoke with him, and in 10 minutes, Maharaj told to Mohan Rupa Prabhu, no need to ask anything from him, he is not going to give anything. And then Mohan Rupa Prabhu asked, Maharaj, how do you know that he's not going to give anything? Maharaj said, he's just bluffing. I asked him he said that he was in Montreal. I asked him about a few places, but he was not knowing, he was not giving the right information. So he's just bluffing. So when he is saying you that he will give you something, he is simply bluffing you. So don't spend time on him, like that Maharaj Prabhupada said. So whenever we give charity, it should hurt in some way. The another level is giving reluctantly. We don't want to give, but then somehow we forcibly give something. That is another level. And the last level is keeping with yourself. You don't want to give only. One time a priest, he wanted to do a fundraiser for building a church. And the entire congregation was assembled in front of him. And he said, there is a good news and there is a bad news. Good news is, we have got $1 million with us. We have got $1 million with us. The bad news is, it is still there in your pockets. So, keeping with yourself, that is not a good thing. And now, what are the benefits of charity? When we give charity, what all things happen? There are a lot of benefits of charity. First benefit is wealth gets purified. Each and everything has got some particular element of purification. So when we are earning wealth, it may not be a very honest means of earning. And in today's day and age, we see every particular source of earning, it has got some or the other element of deceit or falsity. And even if it is not there, still, when we are earning something, the wealth is purified by giving charity. Bhagavatam 10.5.4, it says, Kalena snana shauchabhyam samskaras tapashajjaya shuddhanti dana santushtya dravyani atmatma shuddhaya. So, some things get purified by time, like land is there. It gets purified with the passage of time. Snana, body gets purified by snana. Samskara is tapasijjaya. By purificatory ceremonies, birth is purified. By austerity, the senses are purified. And by worship and charity offered to the Brahmanas, material possessions are purified. So therefore, it is very important to give charity. The second benefit of giving charity is satisfaction. Prahlad Maharaj is saying in his prayers, Naivatmana prabhurayam nijalapa purno manam janada vidusham karuno vrinite yatyachano bhagavato vididita manam tachatmane pratimukasya yatha mukashri. So just as we are decorating the face in the mirror, we also get decorated in the same manner. So when we give charity, then we also get satisfied, we also get happy. Attachment gets reduced, that is the third benefit. Having so much of attachment. Yesterday you were talking about people having big houses, big bungalows, and just imagine if with that attachment we leave our bodies, and then we may land up at the same place, close by that place. Sometimes there are some trees which are just very close to a particular bungalow, just like embracing a particular bungalow. It could be very well that that person might have been the owner of that bungalow, and now because of attachment he has got the birth of a tree very close by that place. So to reduce attachment, we should give charity. The fourth benefit of giving charity, the fourth reason why we should give charity is because Bhagavad Gita, Krishna mentions three things never to be given up. Yajna dana tapaschaiva pavanani manishinam. He says yajna, sacrifice has to be done. Sacrifice should not be given up. And why should we do sacrifice? By doing sacrifice, we get free from adidaivic kleshas. Then dana has to be done, charity has to be done. By charity what happens? We get free from adibhautik kleshas, as we are giving to others, helping others. And by tapasya, by austerity, we get free from adhyatmik klesha. So if we want to get free from threefold miseries of life, then we should do yajna, dana and tapa. And so much more for householders. And the best charity is to give for Krishna consciousness. If we give for spreading Krishna consciousness, that is the best charity. Another reason why we should give charity is because it invokes a selfless spirit of devotion in it. It is said that when you give charity, your left hand should not come to know what the right hand has given. That's how you should give charity. Not that you keep on proclaiming. So one time there was a person who donated a fan in Vrindavan. And he went to Vrindavan temple and he said, where is that fan which I have donated? Where is that fan? No, my name is written on that. And then the devotee showed to him, see, this fan is there. Will you stop the fan? and they stopped the fan. When they stopped the fan, he saw his name. He said, this fan should never be turned on. If it is turned on, then how can my name be seen? No, so this is what is selfish charity, when we give expecting something in return. So charity means it has to be selfless. Another reason why we give charity is it increases our devotion to Krishna. In the pastime of Nriga Maharaj, he was very much attached to karma kanda, ritualistic activities. One time it so happened that he gave charity to a Brahmana for building a temple of Lord Vishnu. And that Brahmana blessed him that may you have darshan of Lord Krishna. Because of that, he became a lizard, but then later he was delivered by Krishna. Krishna gave him his darshan because he pleased a Vaishnava, because he gave charity to a Vaishnava. So even Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says this. This is another reason why we should give charity, because Krishna gives much more in return when we give charity. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, what is the return on investment when we give charity? Ordinary man, if you give charity to an ordinary man, you get same returns. If you give charity to half Brahmana, you get double returns. If you give charity to full Brahmana, you get 1,000 times. And if you give charity to a Vaishnava, you get unlimited times in return. That is why charity should be done to Vaishnavas, like that it mentions. Another reason why we should give charity is we can stop the 4 pillars of sinful life by giving charity. Ambarish Prabhu, who is managing the temple of Vedic Planetarium in Mayapur, he donated 250 crore rupees on World AIDS Day, 1st of December. So he was asked, why you are not giving charity for AIDS? World AIDS Day, what will happen? You are going to some remote place in some remote village at a remote location. What is going to happen by this? And Ambarish Prabhu replied, I am giving for AIDS. Because when this temple will come up, it will stop people from indulging in illicit sexual activities, and that will stop AIDS. And that is how I am giving for AIDS only, like that. Another reason why we should give charity is we can reduce envy when we share with others. One time Yamuna Mataji, who was a very nice cook, so she was asked by Prabhupada, Yamuna, are you teaching to other girls also how to cook? And one of the other girls, she said, no Prabhupada, she is not teaching. And Prabhupada said to Yamuna very sternly, he said, if you don't share with others, you will become envious. So when we share, we can reduce envy, and thus we can be more peaceful in our life. Another reason why we give charity is because when we give, we become peaceful. Tyagam shantim richyati. It is meant like that. One time Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he went to Sakshi Gopal, and he had gone with his Grihastha disciples. And the Grihasthas were not giving money to beggars. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, have you earned this by your own? He said, if you don't give, your heart will become hard. So he would even encourage to give money. If you don't have prasad, give money. Like that. So we should serve in that way. Bhagavad Gita talks about different charity in different modes as well. Charity in mode of goodness, charity in mode of passion, charity in mode of ignorance. Whenever we give charity, and whatever is given in charity, actually it purifies the person. One time there was a husband and wife, they were fighting. And a brahmachari, he went to that particular house to get bhiksha. And the wife was very angry. She gave ashes to him. She gave ashes in charity to him. And he used it for washing the Lord's vessels. So next day again he went to the same house, their fighting had stopped. Because what she gave, it was used in Lord's service. So anything you give in charity, if it is used in Krishna's service, that will purify that manner. So the mood of giving charity has to be understood. The mood has to be that I have received so much from Krishna, and it is my duty to give to Krishna whatever little I possess with myself. And today being the disappearance day of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, he was one such disciple who gave charity of everything. We were discussing this verse, Kayena Macha Manasendriyerva Buddhyatmanava Tishdasvabhavat. He gave his words, he gave his mind, he gave his time, he gave his energy, he gave his life for the service of Srila Prabhupada. Sarvam Bhattacharya in his book Shri Chaitanya Shataka, he says, Kimadbhutam Gaura Harishcharitram Tatodhikam Tat Priya Sevakanam Sankirtanamo Dajananuraga Prema Pradhanam Vitanoti Loke. So he says, and interestingly, Sarvam Bhattacharya had the association of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. For 7 days, he only spoke to him, and finally he got the realization that Mahaprabhu is not different than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But later he was so grateful to Gopinath Acharya, who had introduced him to Mahaprabhu, but he was not listening to Gopinath Acharya. So Sarvam Bhattacharya is writing in his Sri Chaitanya Shataka at the time when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is present. And Sarvam Bhattacharya definitely knew that Mahaprabhu had gone to South India. But Sarvam Bhattacharya writes, Kim Adbhutam Gaura Haresh Charutram. How wonderful is the charitra, is the character of Lord Gaurachandra. Tato dhikam tat priya sevakanam. But okay, Lord Chaitanya's character is very wonderful, but even more wonderful than his character is the character of his dear servants. And then he says, Sankirtana Moda Jananuragan. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, along with his servants, what does he do? He does Sankirtan. Prema Pradhanam Vitanoti Loke. And he spreads love for Krishna everywhere. So just as when we think about Krishna, Krishna's devotees are also included in Krishna. Nectar of Devotion tells that. When we say Krishna, Anya Bilashita Shunyam, Jnana Karmadi Anavritam, Anukulena Krishnano Shilam Bhakti Uttama. So the definition of Uttama Bhakti is given like this. So Krishna includes Krishna plus Krishna's devotees also. Mad Bhakta Puja Vyadika. Similarly, when we say Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, along with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's servants are also included. So similarly, I was thinking that when we say Srila Prabhupada, along with Srila Prabhupada's dear disciples are also included in that. We cannot separate Srila Prabhupada's disciples from Srila Prabhupada, because they are one in spirit, they are one in desire, and they are one in their mission of giving Krishna consciousness to all souls in the age of Kali Yuga. One time His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj, he was not well, and he was taking some treatment, and he asked one of his disciples, do you have some books with you? And then a disciple said that, Maharaj, yeah, I had some used books, I have some used books, which one do you want to read? And then Maharaj said, no, you get all the books to me. And then he got all the books to Maharaj, and Maharaj went out for book distribution. Even when his health was not good. One time a devotee came to Maharaj and said, Maharaj, can you please come in our center? This is going on. Maharaj said, if everything is going on nicely, why should I come? You call me when there are some problems, then I will come. So he was known a man of principles, and he was known as a Prabhupada man. I remember in Pune they had stopped using tomatoes for devotees, and at one point they stopped using tomatoes even for deities. Devotees meaning in the Brahmachari ashram, because His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu, he said that he read somewhere that tomato causes increase of mood of passion. So he said that we will not have tomatoes in the Brahmachari ashram. And then one time His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj came to Pune, and then one of the disciples, one of the Grihastha disciples of Maharaj, said in front of Radheshyam Prabhu to Maharaj that, Maharaj, Prabhu has stopped tomatoes in Pune because it has some problem. And then Maharaj immediately, Prabhupada never did that. Prabhupada never said that. So anything means, basically why I'm telling about this is, whatever Maharaj would do, he would always remember what Prabhupada did, and he would do exactly what Srila Prabhupada would have done at that particular time. One time Maharaj was in Tirupati temple, and the GBC meetings were going on, And Revati Raman Prabhu, who is the temple president of Tirupati, now has become an initiating guru also. He went to Maharaj and said, Maharaj, can you please worship Radha Krishna and Ashtasakis? They have Radha Govinda Ashtasakhi Mandir there. Very beautiful deities. And Maharaj said, no, I cannot worship. Now Maharaj is the person, whatever his health may be, he would every day come in the morning 4:30, whichever temple, and he would worship. Now even to the extent that Maharaj would never sleep outside ISKCON temple, no matter what. Even the day he had angioplasty many years back, night he said, I cannot stay in the temple, take me back. I cannot stay in the hospital, take me back to the temple. And then they had to stuff some pillows and make it appear that Maharaj is there, and took Maharaj to the temple to take rest. So, what was I saying? So Revati Raman Prabhu. So he was very clear. He thought that Maharaj will worship. Maharaj said, no, I cannot worship. Like, gopis are there, how can I worship Ashtasakis? And then Revati Raman Prabhu said, Maharaj, wherever you go, you worship. In Mayapur also there are Ashtasakis. Then Maharaj said, Revati Raman, have you ever seen me worshipping at Radha Madhav altar? I am either there at Panchatattva or Narasimhadev. I have never worshipped Radha Madhav and Ashtasakis. And then after some time Maharaj said, okay, just because you are saying I will worship, just tell me how to worship. So Maharaj knew how to worship, but still he was asking. Then Revati Raman Prabhu, he concludes, this was after the disappearance of Maharaj. And Revati Raman Prabhu, he says that generally a person, he is a bit respectful in front of his authorities, or his, like who are his immediate authorities. He is very respectful and he may not go in front in that way. So he says that Maharaj's eternal position in the spiritual world could have been like servant of the gopis, because of which Maharaj was very much hesitant to go in front of his authorities in that sense. So that is what Revati Raman Prabhu describes. And Maharaj would give money to whichever temple was in need, and he would not like temples being closed down. One time it so happened that the Nairobi temple in Kenya, it was going to get closed, and Maharaj did everything possible in his way to stop the temple from being closed, and he prevented that, and he raised the temple to a particular level. So again, Revati Raman Prabhu says this. One time Maharaj called him and said, take this Lakshmi, keep it with you. And Revati Raman Prabhu said, Maharaj, you have a lot, we don't need anything, we have a lot. He said, no, keep this with you. And he gave to Maharaj. And then Revati Raman said, what should I do with that money now? I have everything. Then he said, as a remembrance of Maharaj, I will make a ring of this and I will wear it with me always, so that I carry Maharaj's blessings wherever I go. Maharaj was so very particular that he would not ask his personal servants even for a glass of water. That much caring he was for his servants. And sometimes, like when the servants would do his massage, so different disciples would come for massaging. Sometimes when Ekadashi would be there, he would ask his disciples, are you doing Nirjala fasting? If they would say yes, he would not allow them to touch his body. And then he would ask them, have you gone for book distribution? If they would say yes, he would say, no, you cannot touch my body, because they've already done service, hard physical service, so he would not allow them to touch his body. So in that manner he was very much caring for his disciples. One time he called one of his disciples at night 10 o'clock. And the disciple was like, Maharaj, why did you call me? So Maharaj, actually there were some ladies who had come to meet Maharaj, and Maharaj did not want to talk to them alone. Maharaj was old, very old that time, but these ladies and Maharaj said that, no, I want you in front of me. So while they are talking, so he was very careful regarding maintaining his principles of sannyas ashram also, although he was beyond everything. And Maharaj's memory was so profound that even if once he met someone, he would remember. One time a person said to him that, Maharaj, I am so happy to meet you for the first time. I said, no, we are not meeting for the first time. That person was confused. No, Maharaj, I am meeting you for the first time. Maharaj said, no, we are not meeting for the first time. Maharaj, we never met before. Maharaj said, 30 years back, when you were in Montreal and we were just walking by, your shoulder had brushed my shoulder. And that's how he remembered that particular thing. You just imagine what was Maharaj's memory. And every single thing what his disciples would tell, he would remember. He would want his disciples, those who were brahmacharis, he would want them to remain in brahmachari ashram. When some of his disciples would want to, leave brahmachari ashram, he would take them to the kitchen. He would show to them, what is the price of potatoes, what is the price of tomatoes. Now we had gone for Bhogar, and Sridharan was saying a tomato, one case was like around $57-60. So he would take them and see, he would say, see the prices, do you still want to go? This much you will have to earn and this much you will have to spend. And then the brahmachari would change his desire to marry. Even when his disciples, there would be a lot of complaints which would be received against his disciples, he would beg to the temple authorities, please keep him. Please give him one last chance. I beg you, I will take care of him. That was his compassion. Even though they may have done any kinds of things, they may have committed illicit sex, they may have done intoxication or whatever may be, he would always be caring for his disciples and wanting them to serve in any possible way, in any way which was possible to them. One time when Maharaj came to Pune, so his disciples, they thought that Maharaj's health is not good, so we will not allow devotees to meet Maharaj. And Maharaj, wherever he would go, his room was open for all the visitors. There would be a line of visitors which would be there, and Maharaj would meet everyone. So this time, that time when devotees did not allow, Maharaj said to his servants, hey, what is this? Are you not allowing people to meet me? When I come here, my main goal is to meet the people. Why you are not allowing people to meet me? So he always was in the mood of taking care of his disciples, and always he would give time to his disciples. In Pune temple, the new temple, we have a Balaji Mandir also. So there was a disciple of Maharaj whose name was Mahavirya Prabhu. He was the head pujari of Balaji temple, and he was serving for quite some time. And one time when Maharaj came, he asked to Maharaj, what will be my destination? Can you tell me? If I am worshipping Balaji is, Shri Vaishnavas worship Balaji, what will be my destination? Maharaj said, I am serving Prabhupada since the last 50 years. I never thought about this. Why are you thinking? Just go on serving Srila Prabhupada. And then one time someone asked him that Maharaj, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says this and this Acharya says this. I said, who told to read all that? Just read Prabhupada books and be happy. Prabhupada has given us everything. He was so it was not that he wouldn't read. It wasn't that he wouldn't read other Acharyas' book, but his very prime focus was on Srila Prabhupada. One time he took a yatra, and the servant told to Maharaj that, Maharaj, in this yatra, we don't have newcomers. All 16 rounders are there and all very committed devotees are there. So in that yatra, Maharaj took a very confidential section from Srimad Bhagavatam, which he would never generally speak about. Maharaj's favorite pastime was Madhavendra Puri's pastime. If was not given any particular topic, he would take that pastime. And actually he lived his life based on that particular pastime. Praghada premirai swabhava achar, nija dukkha vignadira na kore vichar. A devotee while serving Krishna, that is the natural result of love of Godhead, natural intensity of love of Godhead. That a devotee does not consider scarcities, impediments, misfortunes, unhappiness. He doesn't consider any of that. He just wants to serve no matter what. And therefore we find even in his last days, one time, I was staying in another temple in Pune, which was led by a devotee named Kanai Thakur Prabhu. So he asked Maharaj, Maharaj, can you please come at our place? And then the disciples were saying, the servants were saying, yeah, Maharaj will come when his health is good. And then Maharaj was on a wheelchair. I said, who said my health is not good? My health is good. I will come to your place. Don't listen to them. I will come. So whatever energy he had, he would use the entire energy. And therefore, when Bhagavatam talks, Yesham samsmaranat pumsam sadhyo shuddhanti vaigriha, it is not over exaggeration. If we just remember such pure devotees in our life, we just remember them, if we have them in our hearts, if we have them in our minds, immediately our existence gets purified. Whatever trash is there in the mind, it gets subsided. So even more important than remembering Krishna, if you remember Krishna's pure devotees like His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, there is no doubt that we won't achieve the highest destination in our life. Because the way they lived their lives, the way they exemplified this Bhagavatam in their lives is worth glorifying. And therefore when we say Dhyayans Tuvams Tasya Yashastri Sandhyam, that is generally for Brahmanas, we do Gayatri 3 times and 3 times to remember the spiritual master. But actually even if we remember whole through the day also, still it is insufficient. And therefore Bhagavatam also says we cannot repay the debt. Yer idrishi bhagavato gatiratma vada ekantato nigamavi pratipaditana tushchanda dhabda karanena swakutena nityam ko nama tat pratikaroti vinoda patram. If we feel that we can repay our debt to our spiritual master, we are considered just a joker or a clown. So we have this fortune of remembering His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj today. Not only today, but each and every day we can remember such pure devotees of Krishna and pure missionaries in Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. Maharaj left his body in Dehradun. Dehradun was not a big place, it was not a big center there. His disciples were telling him, Maharaj, not to not go, his health was not good. But still he went there. And we see in Delhi, Maharaj had 18 temples, 20 temples. And just before coming to America, I had the opportunity to visit Maharaja's room there in Parthsarthi Mandir. The way Parthsarthi Mandir was built was also very amazing. Maharaj had taken a vow that he will take only kaddu sabji. Kaddu is what? Our gourd, right? Gourd. Huh? Which gourd? Bottle gourd. Yeah, so he said, I'll take only bottle gourd till the time this Radha Parthsarthi temple. And it is on a hill actually. That area is not even good for construction. Maharaj was so much after the authorities to get it. And there was a Muslim lady who was at the top. And she was at a particular different place. She was in Amritsar. Maharaj flew to Amritsar. And she was doing a rally. And then she is like, hey, yahan pe kya kar raha hai? What is he doing here? And Maharaj said, please give us the land. And she became fed up and she gave the land to Maharaj. And that's where the temple is built, east of Kailash. Very beautiful temple. And there is where Maharaj quarters are also there. I got the opportunity even to visit Maharaj's Samadhi, which is there in Gurukul, in our Bhaktivedanta Goshala, ISKCON Goshala in Vrindavan. There was a land there on Maharaj's name. Maharaj told the disciples that land should be given to ISKCON, no special thing for me. My Samadhi should be where all other devotees are there. So his entire existence was for the service of Srila Prabhupada. Because we were talking about Dehradun. So Dehradun was not a big place, and Maharaj just went there just to attend a meeting, and because his leg slipped in the bathroom. And then, but that was obviously ordained by Krishna. Pure devotees come to this particular planet by Krishna's will, and they leave from this world by Krishna's will. And whatever they perform in this world, it becomes an example for all of us to follow. So we cannot replicate what Maharaj did. We cannot imitate what Maharaj did. Even to follow in its footsteps is also very difficult, because what kind of surrender. His disciple one time, his servant one time told him, Maharaj, why don't you take rest? Maharaj said, it is not so easy to run a movement. It is not easy. Maharaj said like that. So his entire existence he would give for devotees. But if he had Aarti time, his Aarti time would be there. He would like immediately give off everything and said, please let me do the Aarti. He would do the Aarti. And therefore we have that famous video where Maharaj in his sleep also he is pursuing. So much management, so much of everything, but the consciousness was very much fixed on Krishna's service. So he was such a brilliant disciple of Srila Prabhupada, who executed so many instructions of Srila Prabhupada, remained in ISKCON. And there is a will which Maharaj wrote, and he wrote some instructions for his disciples. There were 10 instructions. If you get a time to read them, they are so beautiful, very beautiful. Each and every ISKCON devotee, if you follow them, we can we can get benefited in our lives a lot. His disciples would call him Bhutanath also, Bhutnath. Bhutnath, like Lord Shiva, we call him as Bhutanath because all the hobgoblins, all the ghosts and all, he takes care of them. So similarly, Maharaj, so in ISKCON, whoever was, like in Hindi we say Gaya Gujra, like who was all kind of, so Maharaj would take care, hey, no, you come, you serve, no problem. So Maharaj was called Bhutnath of ISKCON, like that. So there is a lot which can be spoken about Maharaj, because when pure devotees live, their entire life is actually an example for us. So we can just remember Maharaj today and pray to him, because praying to pure devotees also can give us perfection in our life. We pray to Krishna, nothing much happens. But when we pray to devotees, then everything can happen in our life. So we'll pause here. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Hazelness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Samveda Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Some comments?
Thank you so much for giving elaborate explanation of Maharaj. Just want to share one thing, that when Maharaj was building Parthsarathi temple, the lady was in Amritsar, a Muslim lady. He was having no money for flight. He was begging the money from congregation people to get a bus. And when he come back in rickshaw, he was having no money to pay for rickshaw. And now Delhi temple has 18 car for 18 preachers. Every preacher has a hafiz. When I reminded Maharaj, and Maharaj, the way you did, and you no money for rickshaw also, I was sitting in his room, Maharaj started crying. And when the last temple he built, Panchshil, it is not there in YouTube. He cried. He cannot even Abhishek Gaunita. He cried for like 45 minutes to 50 minutes. He was just unsoberly crying. So we had to take out the video from YouTube because of this ecstasy he was getting by serving Gaunita. Thank you, Prabhu, for bringing this up. It's a very heavy day for me. Prabhu, you use Eta Vajanma Safalyam Praninam Dehesu Pranay Arthe Dheya Vacha Shreya Acharanam Sada. Beautiful verse you quoted from Bhagavatam. How can we, and you told that you cannot even follow the footsteps of these great people like Param Puja Radhanath Maharaj, Param Puja Gopal Krishna Maharaj, Param Puja Jayapataka Maharaj. Those people are heavy loaded people. How can we cultivate the mood that we dream to end our life following the instruction?
You're already doing that. So just continue following the instructions of our spiritual master with whatever capacity. And just as Krishna says, whatever you lack, I carry that. Krishna says, what's that verse? Yoga kshemam bahamyaham. So whatever you have, I preserve. Whatever you lack, I carry. Similarly, pure devotees also have the same benediction. They give the same benediction to us. Prabhupada said, you just follow, chant 16 rounds, follow the four regular principles. I have the backdoor entry. So we follow sincerely, and then it is dependent on Srila Prabhupada, it is dependent on the great souls that they will take us. Because the onus is on them, onus is not on us. We just have to follow. We just have to do our duties. Going back to God, it is not dependent on us. It is dependent on Krishna and his pure devotees. How much they want to kind of pray. Obviously, they are praying for us. They are wanting us to come there, but they will take us there. In that sense. One more pastime I remembered of Maharaj, traveling. He did not have any money. Maharaj would generally travel in economy class. He would never go in business classes. And Dashavatar Prabhu's servant would say that, Maharaj, why not business class? So what they would do is, that Maharaj's health was not good. So they would book in economy class and then they would upgrade it to business class and tell to Maharaj that, Maharaj, when we upgrade on time, it doesn't require much money. And so Maharaj wanted to save each and every penny for Srila Prabhupada's service. So didn't use anything for himself, but opulence for Krishna. Like that. Yes, Hari Bol. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.